Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. Holy cliffhanger, lady! Okay, so I saw the thing and I was like, I'm gonna squeeze this in. I'm gonna squeeze it in there. No, didn't work. Okay. There's a pun in there somewhere and I'm not touching it. Anyway, so there's a little bone. That's your tailbone. Okay, that stores a lot of our ancient memories. Okay, ancient trauma, even past generation, from great grandmother trauma. Okay, that's coded in that little tailbone. Okay, great grandma, great grandpa. All the collection of our bones in our system. Okay, that's coming through the mother. Okay. Oh, look, it's more her fault, isn't it? Put it down. Put it down. Okay. So, when we get into this is why they demonize the snake too, because that movement that the snake makes, it feels so good. Once you get into it, you're like, it feels so natural, and it flows just like a river, right? It flows. It's a way that we're moving all the energy out of our system. And then what I left off at the last video was the thrusting movement. That is getting literally shaking our tailbones, getting it out. The problem is because we're not doing it consciously. We are not released. And then the other problem is, if you have a partner, you're releasing it to them. You're giving it that trauma to them. This is why men seek sex. So this subconscious undercurrent knows. They might not realize in their brains this is what's happening, but that's actually energetically what's happening, is we are thrusting our trauma onto someone else. I know. Lady, you just ruined everything. Okay, I know I'm a walking tower, but if we tear the tower down, guess what? We get to rebuild something freaking-tacular rather than something that's going to keep us stuck. Okay, so if you get the system out of the way, and sometimes it's brutal, sometimes it's very harsh, and that's not fun, but that's part of the process, right? So, and again, it's not about preserving people's bumhole hairs. It's not about that preservation. It's not about making it easily digestible. It, for me, in my little neck of the woods, in my Shakti energy, if you will. I don't know why that came. Oh, the Uranus 1 degree off of my ascendant. That's where that's coming from. Okay. I come in, I bring the lightning, the tower moment. Okay. Boom. Okay. That's my energy. I mean every single ounce of well I can possibly muster. And through the shock, again, I'm going to bring you back safe in your system, but I'm going to jar it a little bit to get your attention. So when your central nervous system perks up and says, hey, listen, and I'm like, did you want to get calm in your system yet? Here's the modalities. Go play. Aren't I just a little devil? Okay. So, so there's, for those of you who want to know, there's 3 things that you get people's attention with: a loud sound, sex, and swearing. And there's other things on that list, but they're completely unnecessary. Okay? So those are and come to think of it, I've used all 3 today. Anyway, so subconscious little undercurrent. If you need the attention for positive purposes, of course. Okay. If you need to get people's attention and you need to kind of, bring them back to a state of awareness rather than aloofness, you do one of those 3 things. Okay? Because those are the 3 things that human beings will auto pay attention to. You don't need to bring threat into it. The loud noise is enough, because it grabs your attention. You're like, am I under threat? And you're like, no, you're not. I just need your attention for just a moment. Okay? So, again, this is why we don't like yelling, and we consider it abuse, because it is threatening to the central nervous system. Okay? So, like clapping the hands. That's actually you. Psh, this is why people love applause, because everybody is now in their central nervous system because it's getting loud. So their central nervous system is activated and the energy is directed. So people will. This is why, like, speakers or musicians, anybody that gets up on a stage and receives applause has a little bit difficult time regulating their nervous system because they are just overpraised, and then they got to come back to being human and taking a shit and washing their ass and whatever else. That stuff. So when you get that up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down, it's dysregulating. So it's, again, getting central nervous system adjusted to the dysregulation and saying, okay, I comprehend that this modality exists and I'm performing a function for whatever person. And we oftentimes forget that musicians and bands and whatnot are medicine. They're medicine. Sound is medicine. Poetry is medicine. All this is medicine. Okay. And so we just have to ask ourselves, is it harm or is it healing? Is it healing or is it harmful? Okay. So I'm going to freaking, how did this, all about the central nervous system. I think it's because so many people are being jarred. Anyway, so when you are working with the energies, all you need to do, instead of, again, good or evil, harming or healing, what's the result of my playing with my pelvic bone? And again, it doesn't have to be sexual. What if you're just poking around, like you're feeling into it? You're like, hey, hi, how you doing? You want to talk a little bit? You want to have a conversation? Let's chat. Let's get into each other. And again, it's not about the sex. It's not about the orgasm. It's not about it's a conversation that you're having with your own body. And this might be my Scorpio stellium, which signifies autoerotic, but it doesn't need to turn into sex. That's not a requirement. It's a, hey, body, my sacred vessel, how you doing? Just checking in. How you feeling? There's a little discomfort in this, that, and the other area. How can I help you? What can I do for you? Ooh, they really aren't gonna like that. Okay, so that's the ultimate act of rebellion. Okay, so comprehending that these things are going to happen to you, realize what role it is that you're stepping into, what responsibility you have in that role, and how to, like, inoculate yourself almost from getting to the point of where it's going to become harmful. I hope that made sense. Like, it makes sense in my brain, but I'm like, was that too big of a word? Inoculation, like a homeopathic treatment, because I'm not going to use the other word. You can't make me. Okay. So when you have that wisdom, again, I'm trying to get away from the love word, because we do not, whatever it is, whatever it means to you, I don't think we have access to it. If we do, we're very unconscious of it, myself included. So I like to say wisdom, because I've held so much what I thought was love that didn't really pan out so great. And I'm like, if this, what? Okay, so rather than keep touching the hot stove, let's go, what can I touch that is healing rather than harming? Oh, stepping in it today. Okay, so what is it? And that's the beauty of it. I can't give that answer to you. I can't be your guru. Tough gazungas. I'm not your guru. I'm just here having a human experience going, are you guys like, yeah? Okay. Come closer. Okay. So, getting curious about it. Saying, okay, Where does my wisdom come in? Where do I create the value, the service, the thing I've been wackadoodling on that you go find? Okay. And I'm starting to develop this system of like, okay, it's not really like service, because it's not a great idea to, again, pull from the patriarchy. I'm betting myself as well, darling. I misspoken. So rather than use service, where am I wise? Where is my wisdom? Where does my wild women wisdom, yummy, gummy, whatever it is, just bubble up from the cauldron and be like, hey, bitch, time to rock it? Ooh, lady, that sounds like arrogance. Now, that's confidence. Arrogance is, how do we compare this in a very contrasting way so you can clearly see the energetic pattern? I'm trying to think of the most just... Arrogance is, I know more than you. Because I know more than you, you are my subordinate. Confidence is, hey, look what I found. I played with it this way, and this is what happened. Do you want to play too? Let's play. Okay? So you're gonna, and that's the other thing you're gonna encounter in a lot of circles, is somebody wants the authority in the room. Somebody wants the authority. Somebody wants to steal the spotlight or steal the authority or have the say over the thing. It's co-creation now. It's co-creation. It always has been. It's just like we told other people that they were less than and subordinate. And they were lucky we let them be here. See? Arrogance. Darling, I know. I have found a new toy to play with. Let's go discover. Okay, that's it. That's all it is. It's like, hey, I whipped out my freak flag this one day, and then at band camp, I don't know. Again, it's not about the authority. It's about the, hey, this isn't gonna look the same for everybody. Please go explore and play. Go do the things with the things. I mean, like, I did a drum making class and I made a drum. I made it. I mean, I didn't, like, murder the deer or anything. I did give it so much gratitude. I put my hands on it and I said, thank you so much for your sacrifice. And I put a lot of energy into it. And, even though I knew I was dealing with skin from a deer, which, if somebody would have asked me to process that in my head, I just followed my heart. I took everything else out of it and I just followed heart. Because old me would have been like, I would not care to want to touch that. And the gentleman, oh my God, the gentleman who led the class, he did his work and he was just an amazing human. Oh my God, dude, he was so good at creating that safe space of just like, I'm just here telling stories and creating a lovely little circle. It's just absolute perfection conductor of energy. Perfection. Just so much vastness held in that room for us to just be. Oh, it was magnificent. Boys, you don't know the power you hold. And the power you do decide to pick up, that's how you deal with it. One of mine. Okay. But I'm here telling you right now, not to put coconut oil in your particular coffee vase, darling. Don't put coconut oil in there because once it goes cold, it's gonna get crusty. I don't know what the heck is that. It's coconut oil. I'm gonna drink it. Open base. Okay. Oh, look at that. I don't need more lip gloss, darling. Okay. So, in that space, I created the drum. And in that space, because I was bringing so much authenticity to it, I got, into my curious state. And I asked him all about it. I wanted to know how the hide worked, how it performed, what made it sound deeper instead of that artificial kink. Not kink. Noise that it made. I didn't like the noise. So I was like, I liked the noise it made when it was wet. Why did I like the noise it made when it was wet? Because my little bat sense came aboard. I was like, look at that. Reverberations. See? Freak flags fly. You find your bat radar. Okay? So, the tinging on the drum, I was not satisfied once she dried out. I was like, I love you. I do. But I don't like the sound. I like a different sound. And then the universe is like, do you want a different sound, darling? Look at that. I have a Scorpio full moon for you. And it's going to rain. So, I left her out for 3 nights and 3 days in the Scorpio moon energy. Brought her back in the house. Stuffed some sacred stones in between her little thing. And it was like, okay. Ting. And now it reverberates. It's just right now I have her kind of like by the heater. So when I want to take her out to play and reverberate like I did yesterday, what I do to soften that so I can get the reverb back, because when it's too firm, the reverb is too fast and I can't catch it. I'm not there yet. So I like the slower reverb. So I want that deep sound, that boom, whatever. I can't do it. Anyway, she can though. So what I do is I moisten her. Yeah. So that's the freak flag energy I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just having a simple discussion with a stone and then, leaving it at that. No, all the freaks come out to play. All of them. All the little fae and the gnomes and the kitty cats and the puppy dogs. All of them are tinging on your energy, asking for your attention. Hey, darling, do you see this plant over here in the garden? I don't appreciate where it's located right. Sophie will do this to me fucking 24/7. Lady, do you realize this is not the appropriate place for this plant? Darling. Yes, my fat tabby has a very heavy, authoritative British accent. She does. Okay, that's how I read her energy. And she's like, excuse me. This needs to be relocated immediately. It's of the utmost urgency, darling. And like a feisty little beast that I am, I'm like, I'll get to it when I get to it, Faye. She just puts her ears back. Fine. Okay? So, and she is the most glorious creature. She really is. And Lilith has her ways. Lilith needs to have her sacred alone time. Lilith needs to go talk to the neighbor cats. Lilith does her own thing. She vibes on her own time. And when the food dish is empty, she will come snuggle me to no ends. And I'll know that it's food time. Because it's the only time that she comes and snuggles me. Darling, I counted. And there's only 74 droplets left in our food dishes. I have 2 dishes. I have 2 dishes out there. Darling, it's 72. I can't take it. I need more. Okay, she will literally calculate how many nibblets until starvation. And that's, when you deal with feral cats that grew up fending for themselves, that's how they're going to come at you. Again, freak flag. I'm just demonstrating for you all the different ways in which the freak flags fly. So you can do it too. Okay. And again, Yoda has kind of he is very Chinese dog, but I don't really get the accent necessarily from him. He's very, he'll give me a snot shower like none other. You do not want a snot shower from a shishu. You don't want one. They're not good news for you. They are letting you know that the energies are malevolent and they need to be transferred and transformed. Particularly in the outdoor woods when the leg is lifted. That is the snot shower that comes at you when you have waited too long to attend to the needs of the shoes. Okay? So that's how that happened. So again, like, okay. And that's how you hold sacred, right? And then because we live in a society where humans are a little bit scarier to do that with, because they, they are at the level of curse. Whereas the cats are here to assist, the dog's here to assist, everybody's here basically to assist. It's just getting into the assist energy so you can take the assistance. Ugh. Okay. And that again, reading that energy will allow you to go into places like, oh, that's not assistance. Whew, that's not assistance. That is something else entirely. And sometimes you do need to look at it and call it out and say, okay, now I need to memorize that pattern so I know what it is the next time I see it and say, okay, not my fractal ecosystem. And again, not everybody is supposed to be here doing what you're doing. So let that narrative go. This isn't for everybody. Sometimes people need to do the thing. Okay, let us not step in the way of other people's karma, darling. Let us not. Okay, and the thing is like they have a perception of karma that it's tied to materialistic things. That's really not. There's a whole slew of like energetic readers out there like, oh, because they did this, that, and the other thing, you get more pentacles than they do because they're, what do you call it? I'm trying to think of what they call it. I'm trying to think of... There's a word they use and I can't recall it because I rarely use it. Something to do with they're of the devil nature, and because they're of the devil nature, they're misfortune. How do they put it? They're losing all their XYZs. Their misfortune is great, or something like that. Dang it, there's a specific thing that they use to say, because you're better than they are, you have way more stuff. I'm like, that's what you want to perpetuate out into the world? More stuff? That's what dictates somebody's worth? So homeless people must be just evil, worthless piles of shit in your book. I mean, I haven't directly interacted with a shit ton of them, but enough of them to realize they just want food and shelter like every other human. You just took a whole slew of people and said, yeah, it's fine they go in camps. They're fucking evil, despicable anyway. Not to mention all the people watching that just got nipped in the bud by fucking DEI layoffs. All the people that invested years worth of education and houses worth of debt into that education, who now come to the conclusion they cannot perform whatever duties they wanted to perform, whatever duties they were told they were going to be able to perform for helping humanity. And so they can't actually do the job. They're not going into that line of work. So now they're in a shit ton of debt with no job. So the people who are sticking to their guns and saying, I'm not going to uplift and work for a system that is so corrupt. So now they have loads of debt and no way to pay it off. Those are evil people. Those are the agents of the devil. Are you sure? Are you sure? You want to double down on that? Okay. So when we have a system narrative that puts everything that's holy and sacred into some sort of monetary system, as some sort of measurement of value and worth, I don't think that's a good idea, kids. I don't think that's fantastic. Okay? Everything is energy. And when you put that kind of energy into that system, where you make it evil or good, either way, right? So, according to their logic, come with me, witch crew. According to their logic, the poor people are devils and the robber barons are saints. That's really interesting. Isn't that interesting? I think that's fascinating. I think that's really fascinating. This is why I don't like working with the Rider Waite. This is why I didn't like tarot to begin with. I'm like, y'all gotta check your fucking human pulse for a second, please, and thank you. Check it, please. Because pentacles have nothing to do with your worth. They really don't. It's just where you put your energy into. Okay? So, we just really got to be careful with our humanity. And this is the result of treating it so carelessly. Okay? So, play, explore, yes. Have fun, create, get safe in the system. But really, really conduct yourself. And this is why I don't like people who poo-poo. It's not high vibe to go look at the media and those terrible videos of what happened. Really? So drop humanity so you can feel comfortable? So ignoring the gaping wound on humanity is the solution. Because I'm pretty sure that's how we get our limbs removed. Pretty sure that's how we get our limbs cut off, is when we ignore the infection that's clearly in the gaping wound. Pretty sure that's how we get our limbs cut off. That and sticking your limb out to narcissistic mentalities and thinking they're going to do anything but take a saw to it or an axe or whatever, right? So that has to do with getting safe in the system. It's going, oh, okay, seen this pattern, know how it plays out, don't need to fuck with it. Okay, the find out season kind of passed, so we've gathered our circle, we've gathered the energetic whatever, so we can continue to see what's showing up. But it doesn't mean you stop looking at it. It doesn't mean you stop acknowledging and taking the energy and shifting it and shaping it and putting your wisdom around it. Okay? And it's the truth of it is, if you can't look at it, you're not going to be able to do anything with the energy, no matter how many pentacles you send it. If you can't look at it, how are you going to transform it, transmute it, and transfer it in your own self? If you're not willing to look at it and accept it for what it is. And calling it, oh, it just needed to happen. This is how humanity works. This is just our lesson. This is divine, whatever. Okay. How all of the responsibility all of a sudden goes away. So bringing that in and transforming it and then shifting the direction, knowing full well that all those platforms and foundations that we've been made to think we're supposed to stand on are not actually going to sustain and uphold us. They're going to get us in the same predicament that we find ourselves in right now. Time to start building new. Being curious, playing in the abyss. Stop being afraid of the abyss. The abyss, that is what's in the light right now. What we know about humanity and how it's been run into the freaking ground on several different occasions for multiple reasons. Okay. Building something new to stand on. Something that actually sustains. I don't know. Maybe taking care of the environment. The thing that actually sustains us. Weird, I know. I will take my radical nature and go over here and tend my garden and my soul and all that good stuff. What's the saying? Dirty jeans, dirty hands, clean soul. That's our saying in the garden community, right? So again, seeing it for what it is, transferring it, and getting curious and playing and exploring. Stop with the whole like we have to do the thing that they say we do. No, we don't. If the government doesn't have to go to court, what the hell are we doing? Time to show people what rebellion is really about. Fierce and wild compassion for humanity. All of it. All of humanity, no matter what it's doing to our streets. Fierce, wild compassion. Driving that forward. Not giving into their narrative that, see, nope. We choose our own path. You don't get to direct that. Keep your flame. I love you.